I'm not ready to go yet, okay? I'm not ready. You gotta wait. I got shit to do. I'm in the middle of something, all right? Just hold on.
Watch your mouth or don't come in here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, people, come on, we're adults here. You know what? What is the point?
Yeah, we're adults here. I got a fucking Burger King fucking thing on my head. We're all fucking adults here, guys. People in my chat, 2 words. What are they? 2 words. Let me see the chat flood. Let me see the chat flood. 2 words. Okay, next caller. Please. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which translate in American to dick and balls.
I got flip-flops. These are my flip-flops. Yeah, I really like my flip-flops because I can put them on. Because look, watch me put them on. I can put them on all by myself. Watch me put them on. Look, are you watching? Look, these are my flip-flops.
Thanksgiving Day. I remember it clearly. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was inserting myself in somebody else's fucking business as a cash grab, and you know.
This channel is harsh reality.
Karen Yak se jodió la sucia vida. Amen.
This is Jonathan Lee Riches. I have cheeseburgers. I'm gonna put cheese on them. I'm gonna make sure that I have my hamburgers because I'm a big boy now and I can make the hamburgers. My mom lets me use the stove now.
And I'm just like, wow, I like receipts, and they brought receipts. Like they had evidence to back up everything they said. And I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be another side to this, right? Like, this can't. No, this is too fantastic.
Yeah, because you're not going to just jump to the conclusion that there's a conspiracy amongst cops to cover up a murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, cops and just like soccer moms and shit. Like, that's what made it even crazier. Like,
yeah, get it, Betty. Yeah,
did you have a close relationship with your mom?
Get it, Betty.
Oh, of course, I still do.
Yeah.
My older sister was kind of she was more of the prissy girl that like going
that is
and
the best shit fucking
shopping
ever.
for the dresses with mommy. I was the tomboy that liked playing with the kids.
Shout out to Cherry for just being easily the most faithful and loyal supporter that I've ever had, man. That someone could have that tenacity with loyalty. And I'm really blessed to have someone like Cherry be part of this channel and in my life. So it means a lot. And yes, I named him after Mr. T and Rocky. Say, woman. Say, woman. Say, woman. Since your old man ain't got no heart, why don't you come down to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man. Oh my God, I'm so in love with this little dude. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends. Oh, say bye. Say bye. Oh, I love you too. Give me a kiss. Oh, I love you. Bye, guys.
Aguero's right about the shoe. The shoe was not the same in the picture in court as the shoe pulled from the evidence bag by Trooper Bukake.
And you mentioned you're at the hospital. There was a sneaker. One.
Yes.
Bukake! Bukake!
Woo! Good afternoon, my friends. It's good to see you guys. I hope everybody's doing well. So yeah, man. This is we're taking it back a little bit. We're gonna talk about an old favorite. Now, what I'm gonna do, folks, first off, now I have gone over this video like 10 times on this channel. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but I've gone over this video more than once on this channel. And the bottom line is it's the most informative video on this person. I'm not going to go over it today because I've gone over it so many times. But it's like an hour long. But I'm telling you, it is as far as informative videos go, this particular one is just like it's this, and then there's micro dots, explaining the Turtle Boy and Karen Reed situation. You know what I mean? But as far as explaining JLR, there's no better. And it is by a creator named Deets on the Streets. And I agree with Aiden saying what he said last night about I don't consider myself a creator. I just generalize the word because it's easier to just make my point when I say it. But realistically, I have said this many times before. I don't consider myself a creator. I don't edit videos. Microdots is a creator. You know what I mean? Deets on the Streets is a creator. Okay. I get up here and I fucking talk shit. I get up here and I tell you guys what I think about what's going on and what we're all thinking about and talking about. That's it. I don't consider that to be creative. Some of you might. Cool, whatever. I appreciate it, but I enjoy this too much to feel like I'm doing anything creative. I've been creative before. I've done creative things before. This is not one of those things that I ever considered to be that, if I'm being completely honest. So Deets put so much time into this, and it's because she's a very, very passionate person. Two people told me about the Karen Reed case. I was in one other creator's chat, and there was a panel, and I was on this panel, and Deets on the Streets was on this panel, and Chasing was on this panel. And Chasing is a Massachusetts native, I believe, and they told me about the Karen Reed case, and I remember being like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's okay. The woman who ran over the Boston cop who was her boyfriend. Okay, she's a drunk. Okay, that's what I chalked it up as. I swear to God, I did. And for most of you, it was Turtle Boy who did what Deets on the Streets and Chasing did for me. And I find Deets and Chasing to be very, thank you, Natasha. I find Chasing and Deets to be very, very fact driven, very objective, very independent thinkers, critical thinkers. And when they were on this panel with me and told me that they believed that Karen Reed was innocent, like Deets straight up said it at right back then. This was more than 2 years ago, and Deets was like, I think she's innocent," which took balls, you know. And on a panel where the whole community is made up of pitchforkers who want to just like point fingers and say someone's guilty immediately, and we're talking about a Boston cop. But Deets like had the guts to be like, I think she's innocent. And so I was like, really? This piqued my interest. And then I got a hold of Sleuthy Goosey's. I think she sent it to me. Maybe Sleuthy was in that panel. I don't remember, but somehow I got a hold of Sleuthy Goosey's spreadsheet, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna explore this. And I did so live, and we know this story over and over. You guys are amazing. And here we are since then. So the person who made this video, who I'm going to share the link in the chat, please take a second, stop what you're doing and like it and put it in your library. Like I said, I'm not going to, maybe I will go over it. Type a 1 in the chat if I should go over it. Type a 2 if you don't care, and I'll just move on to the reason why we're here altogether. But if I go over this video, you'll get an idea of the type of person. You'll get a very strong idea of the type of person that we're dealing with. I'm seeing a lot of 1s. Okay, man. I mean, okay. I guess it's true what they say is that someone's chat will say a lot about the creator, because I'm the kind of guy that'll watch a movie over and over again. If there's one person in the room who's never seen it, I'll be like, let's watch that. You know, like, it's so good. Like, this person needs to see this movie. So I'm totally that guy. So I don't mind going over it. I will go over it. I just, for your sake, I was like, I don't want to be repetitive. But I will. I mean, I got time. Oh, you motherfucker. Okay. All right. So without any further ado, folks, I will play the Deets on the Streets video about Jonathan Lee Riches, who I like to call Jonatalia Lee Bitches. And so from here on in, I will refer to him as Jonatalia because I dub thee.
Hey y'all. So I have been working on this one for about a week now. It took a little bit of time to do all the research and gather all the material. But I want to show you all why I believe that Jonathan Lee Riches is the ultimate true crime tragedy parasite. Yes, different from tragedy pimp. I know that's the
Very
preferred
different
term around here, but I prefer parasite. The definition of a pimp is to make use of, often dishonorably, for one's own gain or benefit. So I understand why pimp is used, and the saying, you know,
now that I have everyone's attention, people, I am stopping this for a moment, and I'm dropping a link in the chat, and I'm going to give you guys a moment, a Jeopardy song time frame, to like the video and subscribe to Deets. Now, Dietz is a little bit of drama, but I will say, if you're into that, she's always on the right side of it. She's been consistent with that. So, but she's also easily one of the most fact-driven and thorough researchers that I've ever known. That's why she has a wrench on my channel and always has, and she's been a friend for a long time. Go do it. All right. Thank you guys for doing that, taking the time to do that. Appreciate it. Let's do this.
Defense, I get that. But parasite makes a lot more sense for me because the definition is an organism living in, on, or with another organism in order to obtain nutrients, grow, or multiply, often in a state that directly or indirectly harms the host. It's also the second definition that I really think sticks. Someone or something that resembles a biological parasite in living off of, being dependent on, or exploiting another.
And wait a second. I was ranting and I totally did not listen, bro. Let me do this. Down the Rabbit Hole News is in the house, folks. Real quick. I got to give her a shout out. Down the Rabbit Hole News is dope as fuck. All right. And I didn't read her super chat out loud and I feel like a dick. Sir, your intro never gets old. You're a creator, streamer, and the original Jefe. Don't sell yourself short. 100%. Thank you. Down the Rabbit Hole News. Rabbit is my homie and has been my homie for a long, long time. And I'm really grateful that she's in the chat right now. So got to give her a shout out. I hope she didn't leave and think that I just totally blew her off. It's just that I have ADHD and I was ranting, and that's, yeah. So got to give my homie Down the Rabbit Hole News a shout out because she has been growing so amazingly too. She never gets into the bullshit. There she is. Look at her. She never gets into the bullshit, but she will talk about the bullshit, but she won't ever she never gets in it. She's amazing. She's like bullshit proof. I love it. She's one of my favorite people.
While giving little or nothing in return. I saw Jonathan had posted this video last week, and I gave it a chance. I truly did. And for those who don't know Jonathan's past, you might think, oh, what's the big deal? He just went to Sandy Hook to share the memorial and everything that happened there. But it's a lot deeper than that.
So it says, welcome to the memorial honoring the lives of the victims of the December 14th, 2012 shooting at the Sandy Hook Elementary School. This is a special place of quiet and reverence, place for the families of the victims and for the community to reflect and remember. Encased within the stone is the sacred soil created from the many items left in the spontaneous memorials throughout the town on the days following the tragedy.
And I will be pausing from time to time to make commentary when I get thoughts that jump in my noggin. The best way that I could describe Jonathan Lee Bitches, Jonatalia Lee Bitches, is I would say that he is incarnate a retarded Lex Luthor. he's Lex Luthor but retarded. It's when you see this explained to you, you will it'll make sense. It'll track. I promise. He's a retarded Lex Luthor. And I mean retarded. Like fucking straight up.
I'm retarded?
Yes, Jonatalia. You are. Yes. 100%.
After reading the plaque, all Jonathan does is walk you down and show you the memorial and read off the names.
I love that the music. Did y'all catch that? That the music from that retarded clip, this music was in the same key and just kept going. That was really funny. That was really fucking funny to me. I love that shit.
I kept waiting for it, for the apology that never came. At the end of reading off all the names of the victims, he said that he was praying for them. And I want to believe that, but I just can't. I'm sorry. It felt like to me he was exploiting them all over again. It might have been in a little bit different way than it was over 10 years ago when he exploited them the first time, but it feels like he exploited them nonetheless, using them solely for content, nothing informational or educational at all about the visit, and more importantly, no apology whatsoever for what he did 10 years ago. I know he did all the legal stuff beforehand and the fishing and all that, and we'll get into it. But to me, Sandy Hook is where he perfected his true crime, parasite, trolling career. And it's just spiraled since then. For us to fully understand how Jonathan got to this trolling parasite entity that he is now, we're going to have to go back to the beginning. And everything that I'm reading, the articles will be referenced in the description under this video. Some of the articles are no longer available, but their newspaper or their
Mind your
affiliate
fucking
will be
business.
linked also.
You
In the
fucking
early
Mick.
2000s, when the less affluent, the technologically unsophisticated, and the simply reluctant masses were just starting to find their bearings online, Jonathan Lee Riches helped develop the identity theft technique known as phishing. He was in his mid-20s, living in Florida, and collaborating with teenage chat room acquaintances in Texas, who used spam emails to trick victims into disclosing personal information. Rich's role was to monetize the data, which he accomplished by seamlessly navigating the online and offline worlds. In contemporaneous news accounts, investigators describe the way Riches would stroll into a bank, flash fake identification, and coolly impersonate his mark, convincing tellers to hand over thousands of dollars in cash. The consequences...
The dude is literally a fucking thief and a ballsy one. Okay? But ballsy partly because he's fucking retarded. Okay? Like, Jonatalia is easily like the slimiest fucking person I've ever seen on the internet. Like, easily. No doubt about it. And I've seen some slimy motherfuckers on here, dude. Like, me and Jerry, it's so funny because like there's all this dumb bullshit going on with the community right now, the free Karen Reed community. There's a bunch of slimy motherfuckers that are showing their true colors here. And it's the funniest thing in the world for like me and Cherry. I got to be honest, because me and Cherry are just totally like James Franco in that meme with the noose around our neck, looking at each other like first time, you know, or looking at you like first time, you know, like it's the shit, the type of people that we've dealt with for the past 6 years. Like the Sixth Stream channel, that's a joke. Those guys are novice, dude. They're new to the drama shit. Like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like that is exactly why I completely am washing my hands of the whole Lauren Matthias shit. And I'm not trashing anybody who's doing it. I'm saying that there are channels that I have a past with and I have experience with that are now buddying up with the victims in that case. And I don't want nothing to do with that. Nope. That is exactly the community that I left behind when I came to the Karen Reed community, when the Karen Reed community embraced me. So, and I'm not going back. No fucking way. I want nothing to do with it. And God bless them all. Best of luck. Godspeed to all of you, especially those victims in the Valo Daybell case. Godspeed to you. I hope everything works out. I just don't. I that's where my boundaries are. So, but you know, genitalia is his whole thing is he will dox your family and he will spread insane lies about you if you're a threat. Now, I don't mind talking about him because he's already done this to me. And the thing is his credibility is jack shit. So like you'll see out like on Twitter, you'll see people repost screenshots of his tweets about me, and I laugh because I'm like, look where that's coming from. Because this dude is what Dietz is showing you here. This is what this dude is. JP, thank you for becoming a new member. Appreciate it.
Reverberated widely. By the estimate of the FBI, the group charged more than $1.4 million to.
That's actually not true. This is a rumor. That's all that is. JLR holds the Guinness Book of World Records for the most lawsuits for suing blah 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 for suing people. No joke. Look it up. No, you will. If you look that up, you'll see hearsay about that. But you'll also, if you look it up deep enough, you'll see that Guinness responded to this and was like, "We don't give world records for shit like that. That's not true." It's just simply not true. Like you'll find it in his Wikipedia, I think. But it's not true. There is no such record for this. But the rumor is based on fact, which is like Jonatalia can never sue anybody again. Like he's done. He has no credibility at all. Like he tried to sue Nostradamus. He tried to sue Mount Everest. He filed lawsuits against Nostradamus, Mount Everest, Alex Jones, Thomas Jefferson, I think. He's an insane person. But he's not really insane. He's just fucking retarded.
Accounts opened in the names of about 2,000 people. Rich's own parents, who live in a small town in Pennsylvania, served probation for failing to fully cooperate with investigators. He was sentenced to 125 months in prison for fraud and conspiracy. Rich has kept up a steady legal correspondence on his case. In March of 2000,
I know I keep interrupting this video, but I get a lot of thoughts coming through my head here. But piggybacking off of my last thought where he can't sue anybody, let it be known that if I wanted to, and if Dietz wanted to in this video, if anybody wanted to, we could slander the shit out of this guy, and he can't do fuck all about it. Fucking nothing. We could slander the fuck out of this guy. We could fucking trash him and make shit up, and he could never do anything about it. I could sit up here and call the fucking guy a child molester, and he couldn't do fuck all about it because he has fucked himself as far as credibility in a courtroom when it comes to filing lawsuits. He's done. But that's not in my character. I have no interest in telling lies about anyone. That's not in Dietz's character. She has no interest in telling lies about anyone. When you deal with someone like Jonatalia, you don't need to lie. No lies are necessary. All you need to do is tell his story. All you need to do is let him speak for himself. Let his actions speak for themselves.
2006, from a medium security prison in South Carolina, he filed a motion seeking the return of
He sued the planet Pluto, bro.
Confiscated assets, including 23 new PlayStation video games, a commemorative Super Bowl football, 66 new shirts with tags. I wonder if they all said media. A plunger a subwoofer, and a box of life vests. The document drew little attention or sympathy, and a judge ordered the items forfeited to the FBI
What's up,
for
Ray?
donation to Goodwill. In hindsight, though, his signature on the sworn statement, Jonathan Lee Riches with a copyright symbol at the end, signified the start of an improvisatory publicity campaign. He used the copyright symbol that same month in a 9-page conspiracy complaint seeking damages of almost $400 trillion, backed by gold or silver. Filing his suit in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, he named several hundred defendants, including President Bush, Pope Benedict XVI, Bill Gates, and Kofi Annan. Rich's lawsuit was eventually dismissed on the grounds of failure to pay a $250 filing fee. But a more pretentious result did emerge. His work had been sucked into the internet slipstream with viral results. At this point, we are in the
JLR did like 10 years for stealing all that money for that fraud.
middle of 2006. At this point, his image begins to appear regularly on legal blogs such as Dreadnought, Above the Law, and even the hard-hitting Smoking Gun. One blogger called him America's favorite serial litigant. Over the next 6 years, he became a world-class irritant by filing absurd, frivolous, pro se lawsuits. He filed thousands of them against anyone and everyone. The Kardashians, Kanye West, whom Rich is accused of running a secret Al-Qaeda camp, Belichick, Michael Vick, anyone. So prolific a litigant was Rich's.
You hear that, Boston? He tried to sue Bill Belichick.
That he became a one-man burden on the federal court system, a troll tagging the docket forever. In 2010, federal prosecutors won an unprecedented and possibly unconstitutional nationwide injunction against him to prevent him from suing, claiming that if he weren't stopped, the government would suffer irreparable harm. Riches immediately bypassed the injunction by slipping a batch of lawsuits to a soon-to-be-released inmate to file on the outside for him. The prison cracked down hard after this. No paper in his cell, no stamps. This only caused Jonathan to go on a hunger strike in protest. After 22 days, the warden had him force-fed through a tube. This just shows his dedication to misinformation. Jonathan was different. He trolled harder, unafraid to...
Now, did everyone catch that? He went on a hunger strike in prison where he was force-fed through a tube by the warden, because that's how far this guy will go to troll. This is not this Morphew thing that I'm going to get into when this video is over in about 2 hours, because I'm going to be stopping it and commenting through it. This thing that he did is not just some dumb shit that he does. He does these things deliberately to fuck everyone over. Make no mistake about that. This guy is fucking nuts.
Use his name and face, often shunning a keyboard in favor of real-world trickery, all of which made him a
Robert G.
hoaxer.
Gifting memberships. Oh my God.
Now, I obviously cannot mention every single lawsuit because there are thousands, but the next couple I think are very important to mention. I would say it helps us understand Jonathan, but I don't think there's any understanding this guy. But it gives us some insight into the type of individual that Jonathan is, and it shows us the lengths that this man will go to effectively hoax, troll, parasite a situation, a tragedy. It's truly sick. In 2011, he sued Jared Lee Loughner, the defendant in the shooting of Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. His reasoning was, and I quote, "I'm in fear that if the defendant transfers to FMC Lexington, he will be placed in solitary confinement, where I'm currently being illegally detained and possibly being my cellmate, in which he could use his bare hands or a prison shank to kill me for being a moderate Democrat." In his
Hey, Cherry, if you would be so kind and do me a favor and try to find the footage of when John Atalia went to Boston and put his phone in Aiden's face. Because that shit is hilarious. I'd like to go over that at some point in this live. So if you could find that, if anybody can find that, that'd be great. Thank you.
Suit, Jonathan includes a 4-page handwritten story of how he had to smuggle his complaint out of prison. It's a complicated story. It involves ants and pigeons. In 2016, Jonathan will end up circling back to Loeffner.
Just do it.
To sue someone else. But we'll get to that a little later. This brings us to Jonathan's release from federal prison in April of 2012. He was ordered to serve 5 years of probation, participate in any mental health treatment deemed necessary by his parole officer, and pay restitution of $92,680 at a rate of $200 a month. In legal filings, he pledged to capitalize on his fame by running legal workshops and selling t-shirts. He went home to live with his parents in Pennsylvania, but his parting shot, the Loeffner lawsuit, marked a darker turn. A little more than a month later, courts in several states received requests for a restraining order against Jerry Sandusky, the Penn State assistant football coach convicted of child molestation. The plaintiffs, who all typed similar accusations in all caps, included people calling themselves Jonathan Bollinger, Tom N. Jerry, and Gino Romano. In his injunction, Riches, posing as Jonathan Bollinger, a cousin to Brooks Bollinger, a former Wisconsin Badgers quarterback, alleges that on October 5th, 2002, I went to Camp Randall Stadium to watch my cousin play quarterback against the visiting Penn State Lions. Around the third quarter, I went to the bathroom. While urinating, I was approached by defendant Jerry Sandusky, who said he was traveling with Penn State and asked me if I wanted a signed Joe Paterno autograph, and I told him to leave me alone because I was peeing. And Sandusky said to me, "Let me touch it," and reached in the urinal and grabbed my penis, further saying to me, "Let me make your sexual fantasies come true." I told him, "Stop molesting me, and I'm reporting him to the police." Sandusky then left, but gave me a fair warning. "If you tell a soul I touched your penis, I will kill you," and left. Then after the game, I told my cousin Brooks, head football coach Barry Alvarez, Brian White, and Kevin Cosgrove, who the coaching staff told me they are friends with Sandusky and won't help me. I have suffered emotional distress since. I fear Sandusky is going to kill me. I seek a restraining order. Respectfully, Jonathan Bollinger. This completely fabricated injunction, ladies and gentlemen, was manufactured by the man who now covers missing children's cases. None too amused, a judge in Wisconsin identified the plaintiff as Jonathan Lee Riches, who has vexed the court system with thousands of frivolous lawsuits before his recent release from federal prison, and whose zeal for filing meretricious actions against newsmakers, celebrities, athletes, and politicians continues unabated. Threatening to hold Riches in contempt, the judge wrote, "Aside from the incredibly tasteless act of filing these false accusations in light of the very real victims of sexual assault against children, the individual involved here appears to have committed a fraud on this court." The admonition carried serious consequences, including the threat of a report to his probation officer. In a letter to the judge dated July 13th, 2012, Riches denied any knowledge of the lawsuit. He requested an attorney and a mental health evaluation because, quote, "I don't know what this paperwork means."
He does. Like, he looks like a toddler, but he also looks like the immediate area where a dick hole is located.
Jonathan, I can't with this guy. After this, Riches began to build his online social media presence on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. His next 3 lawsuits helped bridge that gap between online hoaxes and real-world antics. His behavior was beginning to escalate. In October 2012, he posed as Selena Gomez's father and filed a federal complaint against Justin Bieber for stealing his credit card and using it to pay for a penis enlargement. That hoax was picked up by multiple news sources, namely TMZ, who ran with the hoax for a while. Then he posed as the brother of Kevin Federline, and that one exploded on Radar Online, and it brought a lot of attention to Jonathan. The third case was filed by a Jonathan Jolie, who sued Brad Pitt, John Travolta, and the Church of Scientology for, among other things, assaulting him. Jolie, meaning Riches, who claimed to be Angelina Jolie's cousin, wrote that he was hiding at the Italian embassy in New York for protection, and I'm wearing a mask. Included in the lawsuit is a photo of a masked man standing in a kitchen. He's holding a February 2003 mugshot of Jonathan Lee Riches. And then in late December of 2012, Jonathan commits the act that spurred the motivation to create this video. A decade after his first crime,
All right, thank you, Cherry.
Stealing personal profiles and going into banks to get cash advances from the identities that he stole, Riches begins venturing into the real world in search of material to post online. 2 days after the massacre of
Like, that's what blows my mind, is the guy is just a fucking thief. You know what I mean? Like, he's a fucking shitbag fucking thief, dude. And people follow this guy. Like, if you follow Jonatalia Lee Bitches, you are a retarded cunt. I don't care who you are. Like, if you follow this guy and support him in any way, shape, or form, like if you subscribe to his channel because you even like to hate watch him, you're a retarded cunt. Seriously. Like, this dude is just nothing but trash. People don't realize these things, you know, like, people don't realize that, like, all it takes is just a fucking dipshit who wants attention and a thief to fucking start a YouTube channel and just be like, hey, like, this is an ocean full of people like this.
26 children and educators at Sandy Hook Elementary School, Jonathan Lee Riches filmed himself driving to Connecticut. In the car, he displayed a photo of Adam Lanza, the accused killer, attached to a doll. He drove past recognizable landmarks, tried to approach the Lanza home, and turned back at a police checkpoint. Riches then drove to a makeshift memorial site in Newtown. Now, in his YouTube videos that he uploaded later online, he looked around the area for a while first. It then goes back to the memorial site where he identified himself to reporters as Jonathan Lanza, uncle of the school shooter. It was reported by the New York Daily News and other media outlets. He told journalists that the killer had been taking Fanapt, an antipsychotic drug prescribed for the treatment of schizophrenia. As photographers snapped away, Riches dropped to a knee and feigned praying for the young victims. Of course, as we all know, this was completely fabricated. Riches has no connection whatsoever to Adam Lanza, and he used this tragedy, this traumatic experience for the entire country. It's the worst school shooting, mass shooting in history. And
Yeah, like I've seen cops, like I posted a video of it where a cop was like, "Hey, are you Jonathan Lee Riches?" Like, I've watched your channel, man. What's up? Like, it's crazy. Like, but I'm telling you, this is all common knowledge. Like, all of this is verifiable. Everything that, like, she's showing the receipts in her video. All you have to do is look it up. And this guy is a piece of shit. And, like, people support this guy. It's insane.
Jonathan Lee Riches used that tragedy like a parasite. He exploited the hell out of it, and he was proud of it. Heels in the Air has this audio from a 2015 interview that Jonathan did. He describes his actions at Newtown, and afterwards will prove how he was lying again.
I went up to Sandy Hook. I did do it. I didn't say I did it in court, though. I tried to play the denial role, but, I was actually at Adam Lanza's window in his house and get chased off by a neighbor. I decided to get on my knees and start praying. At that point, while I was praying on my knees, I could hear the snapshots, like camera snapshot me. So I thought, okay, let me just wing this. So I just pretended.
Oh, what the fuck? Hold on, let me refresh this.
After the Sandy Hook stunt, you were in prison for 3 years? Yeah.
I said, no, I can't go that route. But I said, I need some help getting out of here, whatnot. He said, well, come down to the basement. I'll give you
That was weird.
clothes, like a disguise. And this guy here, he had like some escort guy. He said, he'll take you through the woods, through the town, down the street, and you can go about your way. And I said, okay, cool. So I put on a different outfit, went out the back door of the church, and we started walking in the woods. And then I realized how, this is ridiculous. This is cold, whatever. So I just gave my keys to the guy that they had with me. I said, look, dude, here, just take my keys. This is my car. It's across the street from the church. Bring it down here right now, whatever, like that. I got lucky because on my front seat, the dolls were there, but I had a towel over the dolls. So he didn't get to see the dolls. So I start driving off. I see the media still outside the church. I drive down to the high school because the word was Barack Obama was going to fly into town and talk to some of the victims' families. He was flying. So I actually parked down the street from the high school and went through the woods up to the high school where there were some media people already camped out there. And I was there for a while. I was there for about an hour or two, but then Secret Service.
It's like he's a camera chaser is what he is. And it's insane because like he will just sit there on his channel and tell fucking lies. Like just straight lies about victims, families, the family members of victims. Like he is fucking like without any shame, holding back at all. He would just sit there and fucking lie. To this day, this is what he does. And instead of like sharing a video when he goes live, he like takes his phone and like he goes live from his phone and he like puts it up to the computer screen. Like it's insane. And all he does, the only reason he has so many subscribers is because he causes scenes. He gets into situations and he obstructs justice, basically. It's fucking crazy. Like, what's funny is when I first heard about Turtle Boy, this is what he was compared to me as. Like, people that I knew were like, careful with that Turtle Boy guy. I hear that he's like this Jonathan Lee Riches. I hear he's a lot like him, which is nowhere near the truth. Like, does Turtle Boy... Is Turtle Boy right now being charged with sticking his phone in people's faces and asking them questions? Absolutely. But the thing is it's absolutely justified. We know that the McCabe's, the McAlberts, the Alberts, as the McCabe's, or the McAlberts, as Turtle Boy likes to call them, they are nefarious, fucked up people who all sat in court and lied on the stand. So, in my opinion, everything that Turtle Boy has done is absolutely justified and was not for the purpose of getting attention. It was for the purpose of getting attention on the people that he was sticking the phones in their faces of. Getting people to ask questions, going, hey, there was an innocent woman being charged, and these are the people you need to be asking why that's happening. That's the difference. This guy just chases cameras. This guy just tries to stir shit up to be involved in the news and just be mentioned. And he does this habitually and has done this for years and years and years. And we're listening to Deets on the Streets right now. Just give one example after the other that you can look up yourself. And these things took place after he did time in federal prison. And you think this guy just stops?
They came early before Barack arrived and started sweeping the property. So Secret Service, they asked me up for my media credentials. They asked me who I was, and I told them, "Oh, I'm media. I'm an independent journalist." And they asked me for my media credentials. I didn't have any and stuff like that, so I got escorted off the property. That was around 4 p.m. that day. This was Sunday, the 16th.
And for the record, he also bumped uglies with Bullhorn Betty. Get that visual. Like, supposedly it was like by a dumpster behind like fucking Bennigan's or Chili's or some shit. Bullhorn Betty, bro. Like, I swear to God, that's fucking wild.
It was on a Friday. Sandy Hook was on a Friday. So this was the 16th on a Sunday. It was later on the day, and I started seeing pictures of me viral online, kneeling at the memorial and whatnot, news programs as Jonathan. But then I guess something happened in the next day or two where people started realizing, I wasn't who I was, and then that started going viral. A lot of these places that put me out as Jonathan Lanza started retracting it. I just think it's amazing that a media would actually put me out there as Jonathan Lanza without me providing them any credentials and, just saying who I am. I mean, that's a classic form
like
of media.
he, in his own words, that's his voice, literally bragging about lying about being Adam Lanza's uncle. The Sandy Hook shooter. Bragging about it.
Trolling and incompetence on the media's part, I would say. So that was the deal. Basically, I posted the videos up on the Facebook, local police department. I don't know, some way from how I get my calls.
He's like, the media didn't do any due diligence. He's bragging about it. He's like, they didn't ask me for any fucking identification, nothing. They just took my word for it.
My police department says the videos are all mine, and then I'm just taking a shower. I guess it's on the 19th of December, and there's a knock on my door, and there's about 20 police officers at my door ready to detain me, and I haven't seen the light of day since.
So Jonathan's first lie was that he was at the window of Adam Lanza and a neighbor ran him off. Well, thanks to his own recording, although this is not from him, it's another YouTube channel had it posted, and it was also on a news site. But from his own recording, that's not what happened.
Jonathan Lee Riches. And I'm here with my friend Adam and Ryan Lanza. And we are at Bresson Farm Road. And we are going to the neighborhood of 36 Yogananda Street in Sandy Hook, Connecticut. We are going to go to the house of Ryan and Adam Lanza.
Okay, I removed the audio and sped this next part up because all he's doing is driving up to Adam Lanza's house with his creepy ass dolls. I wanted to leave the audio on the first part to prove to you that it is in fact Jonathan Lee Riches. You can tell that from his voice. But there's also a part coming up where I will freeze it and you can see his face. So we know it's the day he went to Sandy Hook. He's attempting to go up to Adam Lanza's house. He gets turned down by law enforcement, other people protecting the house, and asked to leave. There is no neighbor. He didn't go up to any window. He never even got out of the car. Just more fabrication.
No, Cherry, that's not what they're called. They're called prosthetic children.
Riches. Everything this man does is a made-up story.
Well, I just got kicked out. The guy told me to turn the camera off. We just got kicked out. Just let us go. I don't know what's going on there. How do you feel about that? I had to throw the dolls down. Oh, sorry. I ruined your face. I'm sorry I ruined your face, Adam. Anyway, this guy here told me to turn the camera down. Turn the camera off.
There's a couple other lies that Jonathan tells us in that audio clip, right? There's about 30 minutes of video from his trip to Sandy Hook. I'm not going to share all that because it would just be ridiculously long, but there's a few pieces of audio I really want you to hear.
You'll see there, down that street there, it's Sandy Hook Elementary School. Police are not letting anyone go past there unless you are law enforcement.
Somebody just keeps spamming my chat with the word fuck in all caps. Like, what?
I believe they're trying to cover something up. I believe this whole incident was a false flag attack. I believe that Adam Lanza was mind controlled by the Illuminati or possibly by some sort of New World Order global elitists. I'm here as a truth seeker to figure out what's going on and to find answers, because this will affect every American with the taking away of their civil liberties.
Listen to this dickhead, bro. This guy is beyond fucking retarded.
And the disarmament.
There were multiple memorials around Sandy Hook, and Jonathan visits them all.
Exactly,
Jonathan Lee
Peter.
Bridges, Sandy Hook Elementary School. The front entrance. They're not letting anyone in. Adam Lanza was a victim of a mind control experiment orchestrated by the Illuminati. And I'm here to solve the puzzle. Jonathan Lee Bridges.
He's here to solve the puzzle.
Today is December 16, 2012, and I'm behind the crime scene. I've made it behind the police.
And
this
yo,
is downtown.
I love Scott McGinnis so much, but it's fucking hilarious. And he's right. Like, it's funny. Like, that's how crazy, that's how fucking out there that, because I would consider Scott McGinnis to be a conspiracy theorist, and I love him to death. Like, I love him so much. But I would, because sometimes Scott McGinnis will blast some crazy shit in my chat, and I'll be like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Even though I adore the guy, but like Scott McGinnis is listening to this guy's shit and going, what? Which I find fucking hilarious. That's how fucked up John Atalia is.
Newton, Connecticut, site of the Sandy Hook school shooting massacre.
So we've heard twice now that he was unable to get access to the school. Praise the Lord. And we're about to hear it for a third time.
And I was just down at the Sandy Hook school, but they wouldn't let anyone in. They got it blocked off.
Jonathan claimed in the audio that he was accosted by media and chased to a church because his car was parked across from the church. That's not true, because we'll see at the end of this clip where his car is parked. The church is much farther down if you look at the map. He also claimed that he's changed his character for a third time and was taken through the woods and hid out to go to the school because he wanted to see Obama. And I think in the audio he said it was around 4 p.m. We can tell from his videos that he is there early in the day. We can tell from news reports that when he tells them he is Jonathan Lanza, it's in the mid-morning hours. And then he has video of himself leaving the area that afternoon. So again, nothing but lies from this man. Lies about the horrific hoax that he did. It's just ridiculous.
And if you notice, going over to my car, and I'm going to show you something. Look at all these news meetings. But when we go into my car, what do we have here? What's under the masks? Yeah, it's Adam and Ryan Lanza. And we're together in downtown Newton. And I'm here to seek the truth.
Like, my man, you could be playing video games, you could be watching movies, you could be doing all kinds, you could just be watching Jerry Springer, you could just be jerking off, whatever the fuck, dude. And that's more productive than what you're doing. Like, that shit is crazy, dude. Like, you're I'm going in my car and I'm just fucking camming up and fucking talking about nonsense, bro, and showing up to scenes. It's fucking wild, bro.
This clip is from the day before, on the 15th. He had planned to go to Newton. He's with his creepy ass dolls again, and then he burns a picture of Sandy Hook School. At the end of Heel's audio clip, there's a part that I cut off, and it's Bullhorn Betty claiming that Jonathan was brilliant for doing this. It's actually kind of smart if you think about it. She says he's proving that the media doesn't do a good job of fact-checking their sources. I'm curious how often Betty or Jonathan or any of these tragedy parasites fact-check their sources. But what Jonathan did 10 years ago and what he is still doing today is akin to what Alex Jones did to the victims at Sandy Hook. You are making a mockery of this tragedy. This is not an individual who is a self-proclaimed advocate for anyone. This is truly just horrible.
Now, I think she made this video before Alex Jones even got sued.
And it continues to get worse. A few days after Sandy Hook and posting his videos on social media, because we know that's what Jonathan does, his probation officer saw them, and you can clearly see his face in that one video. He violated his probation. This article states, Jonathan Lee Riches of West Goshen Township appears before Chester County Court Judge Jacqueline C. Cody on Thursday morning, accused of violating his probation by traveling to Newtown, Connecticut in December without permission.
There's a lot of Alex Jones fans in here, bro. Like, that's cool, man. I mean, whatever, like I don't really know. I don't follow Alex Jones, so I don't fucking know, but okay, man.
He told the judge he suffered from mental illness and does not always follow his prescribed regimen. I know that I have to take my medications, he said. I need treatment, Your Honor. He acknowledged feeling better since his incarceration, a contradiction to a letter one of his many followers posted on Facebook, in which Riches allegedly complains that Chester County Prison was starving him and keeping him in isolation, accusations the prison empathetically denied. Assistant District Attorney Andrea Cardamon told the judge that the offense marked Riches' fourth probation violation since 2000, a history of disturbing infractions that was interrupted while Riches spent 10 years in federal prison for duping AOL customers into giving him personal information that he used to make fraudulent purchases. He was paroled in April. In addition to making harassing, obscene phone calls, Riches has filed forged documents claiming he was working for an Illinois law firm, posted personal data, including a social security number of his probation officer online, and demonstrated a kinship with recent mass murderers, Cardamon said, recommending a 1 to 5 year state prison term. Defense attorney Robert J. Donatoni acknowledged that his client needed to be punished. However, he urged an 8 to 12-month county sentence. He pointed out that Riches' behavior also prompted a federal detainer. The federal government is waiting to see what happens here, Donatoni said, suggesting that the federal system's medical facilities are better equipped to meet Riches' needs. He's mentally ill, Donatoni said. I don't say that as an excuse. I say it as a statement of fact. Donatoni said Riches was delusional enough to file record number of lawsuits from federal prison, citing a suit against Hurricane Katrina as an example of his client's tenuous grip on reality. The suits, many of which garnered headlines, were so frequent and frivolous that a federal injunction was filed and Riches ended up in solitary confinement, Donatoni said. Before issuing her decision, Cody watched a brief portion of the YouTube video that landed Riches back in prison before indicating that she had seen enough. In the video, Riches talks about being a truth seeker who will determine how Lanza was mind-controlled to unload his weapons on school children. I know mental illness is a difficult thing to live with, said Cody, but she said things have been getting worse and worse, to the point of causing serious emotional harm to a lot of people. Rich's parents and a family friend attended the hearing. Also in the courtroom was West Goshen Township Detective David Maurer, one of the officers who has fielded concerns from people across the country about some of Rich's postings. Police said they have been monitoring Riches since his release in April. In fact, That vigilance generated Thursday's hearing. While watching the December video in which Riches describes approaching the Connecticut residence of Adam Lanza, officers saw Riches' face briefly when he dropped the video camera. Because Riches had not notified his probation officer of the trip, he was cited for the violation. After the hearing, Donatoni said he is concerned that Riches will not get the help he needs in state prison. He said he expected federal authorities to impose an additional penalty, although no hearing has been scheduled. He said that term could be consecutive to the Chester County sentence.
Now, does John Atalia come off as the kind of guy that seeks help, that welcomes help, that admits that he has a problem? No, man, this guy gets off on fucking with everyone. That's his thing. He gets off like pathologically, psychotically, he gets off on fucking with people. There's no way that this dude is doing the work to get better.
A strictly penal sentence will not serve anyone. He's seriously mentally ill, said Donatoni. He needs to be in a place where he can get treatment so he doesn't get worse. Cardamon said she was pleased with the sentence, in particular because it prioritizes the need to protect the public and the community. She said both Chester County and the federal authorities have been attempting to address Mr. Rich's mental health needs.
This is my favorite shit in the world. I was hoping somebody would show up in my chat and say some dumb fucking shit like this. This dude doesn't show with his actions that this is true. You either show this with your actions or you say the words, and then morons fall for it. The only reason he addresses this stuff is because it's indisputable. But make no fucking mistake that this dude continues to do the shit that he does. Like he does it in your face. And the only reason you fall for it is because it's entertaining to you, because you like to jump to the same fucking bullshit conclusions that he does. What he does is parasites off of people who want to point fingers at people without any evidence and want the wildest story to be true, because you look at crime cases like they're fucking entertainment, and so the victims and the people involved in these cases are characters in some Lifetime fucking movie. And he capitalizes off of this because there are assholes like you who fucking buy into it. Assholes like you who make up horrible shit about innocent people or potentially innocent people because you want the most craziest fucking explanation to be true because it's more entertaining for you. You are exactly what's wrong with the true crime community.
Decade. The sentence imposed by the court today ensures that the community will be protected while these efforts continue. I don't take the claims about Jonathan's mental health lightly. However, I also don't take what is happening to these victims lightly either. And maybe you're saying the same thing that Betty says here.
A shooting that happened in
Sandy Hook.
And him making a joke of it and that type of stuff. There's been no answers for that.
But when you realize that was over a decade ago, and you realize that was like 12 years ago.
So, okay, yeah, this was over a
Yeah, she's drunk on John Atalia, Dick, when she's saying that, and about to move on to Dolly Dick.
decade ago. I get that. I would like to point out to Betty and Jonathan that they have harassed people whose criminal records are well over a decade ago as well. Lots of people. But it's okay for Jonathan?
Thank you, Natasha.
Let's go ahead and see what he's done since then, though. Has he changed his behavior? Jonathan spends 3 years in prison for that parole violation. I can't find much on him during his time in there until the very end. On March 18th, 2016, Riches knowingly and willfully made, used, and filed a false and fraudulent
She totally fucked Dolly Vision. She totally did.
writing and document falsely and fraudulently posed as Jared Lee Loeffner. In the phony lawsuit, Riches sought $25 million in punitive damages from Giffords for emotional and psychological distress. While posing as Loeffner, Riches said Loeffner was illegally incarcerated based on false statements by Giffords. He also couldn't help himself, and he had to get involved in filing a lawsuit on behalf of Jason Dalton, the Kalamazoo spree shooter. Multiple media outlets reported about the jaw-dropping $10 million suit that Jason Dalton, the alleged Kalamazoo spree shooter, had purportedly filed against ride-sharing company Uber. Dalton, a former Uber driver, stands accused of killing 6 people and wounding 2 others between passenger pickups on February 20th in the western Michigan town. News of Dalton's supposed suit came days after police revealed that during an interrogation, Dalton claimed that he was possessed by the devil through his use of the Uber app. In the multi-million-dollar suit, Dalton alleged that Uber had subjected him to a hostile work environment, and that working for the company had ruined his life. When it was discovered to be a hoax and Riches was called out, this is what he had to say for himself. I, Jonathan Lee Riches, wrote the lawsuit. I drafted it up and it got sent to the courts. And I'll tell you the reason why I've done it. This jerk here ruined a lot of families. He hurt a lot of people. Do you understand? And now he's sitting in jail at the taxpayer's expense, sitting comfortably in solitary confinement. He's sitting there eating commissary and just sitting nonchalantly. Well, it ain't happening. I'm speaking up on behalf of all the victims of this tragedy. My intent was to file the lawsuit, not necessarily to fool the media, but I wanted to create a lot of hostility towards Dalton. He's sitting in prison comfortably. You know, if you file a bunch of lawsuits in an individual's name, the clerk of court and the court will pretty much authorize the prison to take $350 out of that person's account because they have to pay the filing fees. This is in reference to the 1996 Prison Litigation Reform Act. So what I'm trying to say is the more lawsuits that get filed in Jason Dalton's name, the clerk of court and the courts will send a notice to the jail or the prison, wherever the individual is, authorizing them to take $350 out of the prisoner's trust account. Therefore, Jason Dalton can't get no commissary because his account will be frozen. He'll be so in debt to the courts. I hope people all around the country file suits in his name. I'll continue to file suits in this man's name, and I strongly encourage other people to do it. Dalton might be a monster, but what Jonathan did is he turned him into a victim of Jonathan's crime. There are 2 more lawsuits that Jonathan did before he was released from prison that I want to share with you. And it might be repetitive of me to go over these suits, but I want you to realize the scope of what Jonathan has done, the torment that he has put on people. And I know he probably thinks these lawsuits are a victimless crime, but they're not. In this handwritten lawsuit, Jonathan poses as a man named Jahidi Shits. I don't know if that's
Jahidi Shits, huh?
how you say it, but that's what it looks like. And he sues a couple that have recently won the Mega Millions in Tennessee. He alleges that he was in contact with their daughter Tiffany, as well as the winners themselves. He states that he lent the money to Tiffany Robinson for the winning Powerball ticket that her parents purchased. Some of the comments made by Jonathan in
What a fucking hater, bro. Like, this guy's so fucking entitled that he's like, oh, these people won the lottery? Well, I'm just going to sue them for their winnings. This guy fucking sucks. Now, listen, I'm not going to go through this whole thing. I think you guys get the idea. I have dropped the link in the chat. I'm going to do it again So, you know, if you're interested in, like, we're only a little bit more than halfway through here. There's still another like at 23 minutes to this. But I want to just keep this live moving along. But you get the idea. I mean, I feel like you understand at this point the kind of person that this man is. Now, let's move on to when Aiden, our boy Turtle Boy, wrote an article about him. And this is from April of 2024. So, Canton cover up part 339.
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. How dare you?
Thank you, Joe. I'm late to this. Lots of haters in the chat. Hefe, what's up with that? Keep doing what you're doing. You are love here in Norfolk and Plymouth County. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. So Canton cover up part 339. Canton pediatric nurse expresses support for convicted felon and supporter of mass shooters after he harassed Karen Reed inside court buffer zone. Now, one of the reasons why I adore Massachusetts, okay? Let's go ahead and read this. A deranged felon named Jonatalia Lee Bitches showed up outside of the final day of Karen Reed jury impanelment to harass and intimidate Reed on her way into court this morning.
Spend the rest of your life in prison, ain't you, Karen? Yeah, you are, Karen. Karen, you are, aren't you? Hey! Karen, you're gonna spend the rest of your life in prison. Right, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel? How does it feel, Karen? How does it feel?
All right, so yeah. Because he's changed so much, folks. You know, he owns his past.
You're gonna spend the rest of your life in prison, ain't you, Karen? Yeah, you are, Karen. Karen, you are, aren't you? Hey! Karen, you're gonna spend the rest of your life in prison.
Good morning.
Right, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer? Spend the rest of your life in prison, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer? You're going to prison, aren't you? Right? You have any remorse, Karen, for what you did to the O'Keefe family? You have any remorse, Karen, for what you did to the O'Keefe family, huh? Will you denounce your supporters harassing the O'Keefe family? Will you denounce your supporters harassing the O'Keefe family, Karen? Shame on you, Karen. That's what people say. Karen, anything to say, Karen? You're going to spend the rest of your life in here. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Karen, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison, ain't you, Karen? Yeah, you are, Karen. Karen, you are, aren't you? Karen, you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. Right, Karen? How does it feel to be known as a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be known as an asshole?
How does it feel to be known as an asshole?
How does it feel? How does it feel, Karen? How does it feel?
Karen, how did you manage to walk into Josh Levy's office in November of 2022? Do you know him? Does your father?
When Grant Smith Ellis at this time has more class, think about that. Welcome to Logic Kit Kat. Thank you.
Mr. Jackson, did you go to Mexico with Melanie Little in the recent months?
Karen, aren't you?
Now, Grant is asking the stupidest fucking question ever. And he's still not the biggest asshole in that scenario. That's amazing. That's amazing.
How does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? How does it feel to be a cop killer, Karen? Shame on you for what you did to their Keith family. Shame on you, Karen.
How was the trip to Mexico with Melanie Little, Alan Jackson?
What a moron.
Good morning.
The trip to Mexico.
Hey, Karen, are you prepared to spend the...
Shut up. Okay. Now I'm trying to get where he tried to troll Aiden, and it absolutely backfired. It was fucking amazing. It was amazing. But the reason why we're here today, folks, is because the latest thing that this idiot has done is, I'll read this article. Hold on. Oh, God. Hold on. I got to disable like my ad blocker or something here. There we go. Oh, come on with this bullshit. Okay, hold on. Dude, god damn it. Oh, you motherfucker. All right, I'm just gonna have to do it from my phone. So I'm gonna read this article. Well, actually, I'll just read the order here. Well, I'll read the article first. Hold on. Sorry. It says law-breaking YouTubers prompt judge to shut down live streaming in Barry Morphew case. So if you followed the Barry Morphew case, which is actually the Suzanne Morphew case, the murder of Suzanne Morphew, I have covered this case pretty extensively, but when it happened, and it was years ago. But Barry Morphew was charged in the murder of his wife, who had gone missing. But they didn't have enough evidence. I remember talking about this. The DA at the time did not have enough evidence. The DA fucked up the whole case, really. But he was found not guilty with prejudice, or without prejudice. Whatever the fuck it means, where he could be tried again. Sorry. We haven't gotten that far in the Glare Institute of Law and stuff. But so now people who have been following this case, YouTubers, specifically, law tubers alike, people who have been passionate about this case, have been waiting to see this guy, because now he's charged again. And now they believe they have enough evidence to convict him. And without prejudice. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Appreciate it. Prosecution dismissed case without prejudice. Right. So that they could get more evidence and then prosecute him thoroughly. I remember the DA did not seem confident. It's an ongoing joke between Annie, Elise, and I. She'll say, "You said Barry was innocent," and I said, "I never said he was innocent." She'll say, "I was right about Barry Morphew. First of all, he hasn't been convicted yet." Annie is not right because he hasn't been convicted yet, but she's like, "He's guilty. He's guilty. He's guilty." I'm saying that I believe him to be guilty. Personally, I believe him to be guilty, but I was not confident. Our argument was, I didn't say he didn't do it, Annie. I said that I don't think that the DA had enough evidence. I don't think there's enough evidence to convict him. I think their case is weak. And she was like, no. And I said, yeah, whatever. But, and it's always been an ongoing joke between us. But they charged him again. And so now, thanks to Jonatalia Lee Riches, you won't get to see the case. You won't get to see the trial. Thanks to him. And I'll read the article to explain. At least 2 YouTube accounts violated state law that prohibits recording and rebroadcasting of courtroom video. A Colorado judge this week stopped public live streaming of court proceedings in the high-profile murder case against Barry Morphew after at least 2 YouTube accounts violated state law that prohibits the recording and rebroadcasting of court's videos. In a Monday order, 12th Judicial District Chief Judge Amanda Hopkins shut off virtual public access to the proceedings on the grounds that doing so was necessary to preserve Morphew's rights amid an unbelievable amount of local, state, national, and international attention. Morphew, 58, is charged with first-degree murder in the death of Suzanne Morphew, 49, who disappeared from the family's Chaffee County home in 2020 and was found buried in a shallow grave near Moffett in 2023. Morphew initially was charged in 2021 with his wife's death, but the case was dropped in 2022 after extensive misconduct by prosecutors that resulted in the 11th Judicial District Attorney Linda Stanley being disbarred. So the district attorney, who I said, Annie, didn't seem confident in her case when she addressed the public about it, when she announced that they charged him, ended up getting disbarred for misconduct in the prosecution of that case. The clearer is always right. The clearer is always right. I mean, I don't want to say that the glare is always right, but the thing is
into the glare.
Just for the record. Anyway, Morphew was arrested and charged for a second time in June and has maintained his innocence since his wife's disappearance. Hopkins found that a YouTube channel called Jonatalia Lee Riches Investigates posted a recording of the court's live stream of a September hearing in the Morphew case in violation of judicial rules. The recording that was posted to YouTube included an admonition that no recording was allowed. The judge wrote in the 10-page order. Jonatalia said that in an unsigned statement that the account accessed and shared the same public link available to anyone, and that the channel operated within the bounds of public access and journalistic transparency. The statement objected to the judge's findings that the account's actions were unlawful. We shared a public feed made available by the court itself, read an email from the account, The judge's decision to remove public access moving forward penalizes transparency and punishes the public's right to observe justice in action. JLR Investigates has about 450,000 subscribers on YouTube. This particular Morphew video was viewed about 17,000 times, with commenters discussing conspiracy theories about the case and threatening violence against the judge, attorneys, and victims, Hopkins wrote in her order. She noted that other YouTube accounts also reposted the court's live streams, but did not name them. If I do not pause the unfettered live streaming of hearings in this case, at best, the unlawful recordings and venomous commentary may affect both or either party's right to a fair trial by tainting the small jury pool through the prevalence of factual inaccuracies and the court of public opinion. Hopkins wrote, while the impact of outside commentary is not an uncommon concern in a high-profile case, what is occurring because of the behavior of the YouTubers rise to a level of seriousness beyond that which something like a change of venue could resolve. At worst, the calls for the acts of violence against the parties and legal professionals will lead to someone being physically hurt. Colorado courts are required by law to live stream most criminal proceedings, but judges are allowed to turn off that virtual public access if they find the live stream compromises anyone's safety. The defendant's right to a fair trial or victim's rights, as long as the judge finds there is no less restrictive alternative to allow the public to continue to watch remotely while preserving those rights. Any less restrictive remedies would prove fruitless, Hopkins wrote. The Colorado Judicial Department has posted in several places admonitions against precisely the type of behavior which has occurred recording live streaming. Those warnings were ignored and even included in the unlawful reproduced material. People who violate state law around recording the court's live streams can be subject to contempt of court, which can carry a fine, jail time, or both. Through Hopkins noted in her order that it would be impractical to pursue contempt of court against all the offending YouTube and true crime social accounts in Morphew's case. Hopkins will allow credentialed members of the media to watch the Morphew case virtually on a separate online platform that gives court staff control over who can and can't observe. Members of the media will be required to identify themselves and meet other conditions in order to remain on the platform. Members of the public can still attend the court hearings in person at the courthouse in Alamosa in southern Colorado. Hopkins said she might restore the live stream in the future for particular hearings or proceedings as circumstances allow. So she is being reasonable here. And this is what John Atalia does. His argument was very well worded. And some might even say that he's right. His argument is, well, all I did was live stream what was already being fucking live streamed. Why the fuck am I being why is she having this problem? But the problem is that through the means that she provides, this is why they restrict these things. And why you have to do what Grant does in the Krusty Panties hearings is ask the judge permission to film. But she had already put in an order that you can't. And the reason why is to protect the safety of others. And they can control who's watching and who isn't. Now, some might say there should be no restrictions whatsoever. But when there are people's safeties, when there is a person's safety being threatened, literally threatened, well, then actions have to be taken. So now, thanks to John Atalia and his fucktard fucking subscribers who had to threaten the judge, now nobody can watch the hearings. Can you imagine following the Morphew case as closely as we followed the Karen Reed case and then some asshole pulled this shit? Can you imagine how you would feel about Turtle Boy if he had done that? That's the difference between this guy and Turtle Boy. The judge places an order. Whether you agree with it or not, it is what it is. Like, All of us disagreed with Judge Bev. There was the fucking buffer zone put in place. We all hated that. We all hated the buffer zone, but everyone respected it. Everyone did. We were not going to be the bad guys. That wasn't going to happen. All we were going to do was document how people's rights were being violated. So, having said all that, and thank you for becoming a member. I don't know how to say your name, but having said all that, and having watched Deets on the Streets video, you think this dude was doing this for the sake of the people? Does this guy in the slightest bit come off to you as a crusader for the people and free speech and all that bullshit? Because it's not bullshit, because we've been over here fighting for free speech this whole time, but we've been doing it smart. So now this guy, because of his actions and because this guy doesn't know how to fucking control his fucking chat, now because of his stupid fucking actions to try to get attention, nobody can fucking stream the Morphew trial. No, I agree with you. I agree with you. But the bottom line, Scott, and you know this because you were on the front lines, boots on the ground this entire time. The judge makes an order, you comply with it. Period. We all did. We all respected, we all called out Judge Beverly Cannoni for being dirty as fuck, but we also complied with her orders. Because it was more important to memorialize the injustice than violate it. Right. He could have absolutely done that. But the problem is that he didn't do that because he can't be taken seriously. This is someone who anybody who has to deal against him in a court has to look him up and present to the judge, this is who this guy is. Right. The order was already out for the public not to do it. How to do it was free Karen Reed. How not to do it? Genitalia Lee bitches. Period. That's what that boils down to. Yeah, this is someone who has only done things in the interest of fucking things up for people. This is what he does. It's his MO. He is a troll, a professional troll, a guy who makes a living off of being a troll. And he just trolled the entire true crime community when it came to the Morphew case. People who have been passionately following this case for, I don't know, 5 years. Right. Nobody did that shit. Let me I skipped a few super chats here. Let me get those. Kit Kat, thank you so much. Hi, Will. Love your humor, wisdom, and loyalty. You are my favorite YouTube channel. Wow, thank you. I hope this helps you get to Massachusetts in December. Love from Canada. It will. Thank you so much. Down the rabbit hole again. Thank you. Linda Stanley was disbarred before JLR. She was leaking info to other YouTubers. Her leaking info about the Morphew was one of the reasons for being disbarred. I mean, it's like people want this guy to fucking walk. And then Just Annie, that's how you say it. Just Annie, okay. Love your fire. Lots of love from Britain. Be yourself always. Thank you so much. I don't know how to be any other way. Yeah. I mean, this guy is the fucking worst. Now, no, see, somebody who just came in the chat, I've already debunked this. Like, that's not true. He's not in the Guinness Book of World. The Guinness Book of World Records doesn't have a record for that. That's just a rumor. It's stupid. Some news station said it, and then it was debunked because Guinness actually was like, no, we don't have. We would never give a world record out for something like that. Yeah, fucking McDonough, Chris McDonough. Not to be confused with Sean McDonough of the Gulf. Give us fucking McDonough. Not to be confused with that guy, but Chris McDonough is another fucking dipshit, another opportunistic douchebag. Can't stand that fucking guy. I mean, the true crime community is just full of people like this. Like, I'm telling you right now that this channel, whatever it's called, I forgot already, but the channel that belongs to Charles Vallow's sister, the channels that she's buddying up with are going to chew them up and spit them out. I hope it doesn't happen, but they're going to chew them up and spit them out. They are pure drama. And this is what those kind of channels do. They buddy up. This is the classic. This is why the true crime community is so fucking ugly. And then, you know, there are other channels that go beyond that. They don't fucking do that shit. Like Down the Rabbit Hole News doesn't get involved in that kind of shit. She's cool with everybody. But what these channels end up doing is they end up buddying up with the victims, reaching out to them, selling themselves to them, going, hey, I have a platform and I'd love to give you a voice. And I'm an advocate for victims and blah, 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 blah. And then the victim people are like, the online hatred that I'm getting, I can't. And they're like, I can totally defend you and give you a voice so that you can defend yourself against it. And then what they're doing is sucking them into drama. So those people will end up going, I just don't understand. We're victims, and I don't understand why we're getting hatred and why people are throwing false accusations at us and doing this. And then those channels are their best friends, and then they have a panel, and then people jump on the panel and they start going, oh my God, we're all here for you. Everybody in the chat is going, we love you. We're all here for you. We love you. We love you. And then said channel will start sharing behind the scenes stuff. We'll go, these people, I don't know. They said something that made me feel like that was a little shady. And then they'll take something that they say behind the scenes, twist it, and go, I don't know. And then everybody who follows that channel goes, oh my God. Oh my God. Does that mean that they did it? And then everyone turns on those people, and then that channel gets praised by these drama mongers for exposing someone who there's no evidence against. Nobody's going to get charged. And this happens constantly. Constantly. This is the MO of a certain Molly Golightly. She was notorious for this. She finally got booted off of YouTube for doing it. She finally did. But this was her MO. She created a true crime reality show type scenario. This is what Bullhorn Betty has done. Bullhorn Betty has buddied up to the Sebastian Rogers family, pointing fingers at people. She did this. She got the Wells family, the Summer Wells family, her parents fired from their job, along with Molly Golightly. I mean, this is just what they do, and they do it for content. And then they say, you're supporting victims advocacy by giving me money. The work that we do are the words that they use. The work that we do for victims. It's what they do. John Atalia will just shove a phone in people's faces and start screaming. He'll just show up to places. And then he'll dox people. And this is what this Lauren Matthias did. Buddied up to victims and then trashed them behind the scenes. And then allegedly supported Lori Vallow just to get close to her and use her for content behind these victims' backs. You don't owe me an apology for having an opinion of me and the way that I look at cases. Nobody owes me an apology for that, because I owe no apologies for how I look at these cases and how I approach them. I owe no apologies for it. I don't do unethical, dirty shit. And I stand by everything I did in that case too. All I demanded that entire time was that there would be a thorough investigation into a child's claims of abuse. That's it. That's all I did. But if you form an opinion of how I approach cases, you don't owe me an apology for that. That's your right. You get what you get out of this channel. That's, right on. Whatever you get out of this is great. That's what these people do. Get close to the families and then trash one side and probably trash the whole family than the ones they speak on. Right. And then they get them on these panels and then they say things and then another channel will go, oh my God, I want to take a closer look at what they just said here because I don't know. It's got my brain going. And then I got questions about their whereabouts, and then they act like they're cracking this case. And what they're doing is interfering with an investigation, because what ends up happening is everybody thinks they're a fucking Scooby-Doo hero. And then they start calling the investigators with tips, and they have to follow through with every tip, especially if it's a missing persons case. And then they have to follow through with every tip, and what it does is muddy the waters. It wastes resources. The trauma community is the worst thing that could happen to a missing persons case every time. And Morphew's daughters do still support him, I believe. But here's the thing, is now Morphew's going to get to argue that, oh my God, the whole public is against me. I'm a victim of the court of public opinion. Because you got a bunch of pitchforkers with no evidence making threats to him, making threats to court officers. Crime/drama is what trauma means. And it's a very real thing. And I spent years going after these kind of channels. I spent years doing it. But it's an exercise in skating uphill, dude. Because there's too many people out here who think of true crime as a genre instead of an actual societal problem. Instead of focusing on due process, how the legal system works, trying to learn from it, trying to understand it, and just simply following it. Look at this fucking retard. You've got to be retarded. Like, I guarantee you lick windows. I guarantee it. Yeah. So everybody, they look at these people and they praise these people like celebrities, people who are involved in these cases, people who are victims of these cases. They praise them like celebrities, treat them like celebrities. It's wild. And what they do is they treat them like they're characters in a mystery novel and start throwing shit at the window and seeing what sticks. Not realizing that they're affecting people's lives, regular people. Just because someone's case is high profile, these are people who had horrible things happen in their lives. And that's the reason why anyone's talking about it, is because they had horrible things take place in their lives. Things that merit being talked about, merit taking an interest in, but not the kind where you get to interfere with it. And you don't get to accuse people of things and then perpetuate rumors that affect these people's lives, where they end up having to get fired from their jobs because endless fucking nutbags call the job and go, did you know that the person working for you is a murderer? And there's no evidence. It's just because people were fucking making shit up and sharing it in chats. And it happens all the time. All right, phone lines are open, folks. I'm going to take some calls. There's a whole community of people who do it. There's a whole fucking community of crazy fucking busybodies who Like Summer Wells, I pray for that child because I don't think she's ever going to be found. I don't think they're ever going to solve that case. I have hope, but I don't believe it. Summer Wells, Sebastian Roberts, that poor kid, thanks to YouTube or people on YouTube.
Call from Dina.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Clara.
Dina.
Hi, my favorite.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm just getting out of work, so I just got to see the tail end of this before you opened up the phone lines. But I haven't watched the beginning of it. But all I can say is, Will, you have always been authentic, and that's a big word for me today. But you've always been authentic, and you always shoot straight from the hip. It's no bullshit with you.
Never.
And I'm so glad that the crime drama bullshit channels lost you and we gained you, because you're a treasure to us.
Thank you.
And never change anything that you do and stick to your guns, because you're valued with all of us.
I don't know how to, Dina. So you're stuck with
Well,
me.
that's what.
Whether either way, you're stuck with that.
Well, I'm glad we're stuck with you. We'll take that all day long, every day, 24/7.
Right on. I appreciate
So
that.
I'm
Dina.
going to have to rewatch. I got to be on the replay crew because I was at work. But I just wanted to be the first one to call in and say you're appreciated, you're valued, you're authentic, and don't ever change one fucking thing about you.
I won't. Thank you, Dina.
All right.
You either, by the
All
way.
right. Thank you, Will. Ride or die, my friend. Ride or die.
That's right.
I'll see you December 5th because you're coming.
Okay. It's looking like I might be able to. So
Good. I'll see you then, my friend.
All
Have a
right.
good day.
Thanks, Dina.
Bye.
You're on. Who am I speaking with? What the hell?
Call from.
You're on. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, hello, Will Blair. This is specially appointed prosecutor Robert Cosgrove.
Hello, specially appointed prosecutor Robert Cosgrove.
How's it going? How you doing over there?
I'm doing well. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm in my triple dip flippers.
You're what?
I'm in my triple dip flippers.
Triple dipped flippers. I don't know what that means.
Well, I'm triple dipped, so I got some nice flippers. That's all.
Okay, right on. Well, go on with your bad self, Cassie G.
Well, what are we talking about? JLR, this moron that tries to do the man on the moon and things like that.
Yeah, like I wish I could find the fucking footage of where, like, he got in Aiden's face. That shit was so fucking funny.
Yeah, I think I've heard the audio of it, and yeah, the JLR would running away with the tail between his legs. I do remember that.
Right, because what ended up happening was he does that, and then the word is that he was coming back for the second trial, I think, or it was during jury selection or something. But after he had already pulled what he pulled, I had showed Deets on the Streets' video then to everyone, and he got wind that he was not welcome here by the Massachusetts locals and showed up to Boston, but wouldn't dare show up to the courthouse. He just did sightseeing with his girlfriend. That's what he ended up doing.
Yeah, we don't allow. I mean, we have a lot of jerks in this state, but he's a special case. That one.
Right. Yeah, the free care read community made it abundantly clear that he was not welcome and not going to be tolerated with his antics.
Yeah. Turtle Dove scared the shit out of him.
Yeah. Yeah. He did. He did. Like he thought he was gonna intimidate him, and he didn't. Instead, Turtle Boy just made fun of his shoes and laughed at him. And it made a fool out of him.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Well, you know, he's got his flip flops, and he can make cheeseburgers because his mom lets him use the oven.
His flip flops, exactly. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That was a good intro.
Yeah, thank you. That was I've had that for a long time. A supporter named Laura P made that for me. I haven't seen her in my chat in a long time, but a supporter named Laura P showed her to me or made that for me. It was very nice of her.
Yeah, that's the OG presentation and intro.
Yeah. Right on.
Anyway, wasn't see, Melanie thinks it was Grant Smith Ellis that was yelling at her about going to Aruba with Jackson. I thought it was JLR, but I could be wrong.
No. It was Grant Smith Ellis that was spreading that rumor. I mean, but the thing is like, you know, nobody takes Grant seriously. So, you know, I mean, nobody takes Grant seriously. We all just laughed at that when he said that. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, except Melanie shows up and she has no idea who these morons are.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Melanie just stays in her own lane, and then people talk shit about her because she, you know, has her opinions, which is bound to happen.
And she's got a big platform and all that.
Right. Exactly.
Anyway, I really want to like Grant Smith Ellis, but he just, you know, he always does something to screw it up.
He's harmless. He's, you know, I think he's harmless. You know, I take him for what he is to me, which is just funny, you know, not intentionally. He just is funny. He's not
a cartoon character.
Right, exactly. I don't take him seriously in any way, shape, or form. You know, I don't find him to be a threat in any way. Like nobody takes him seriously. Nobody invests in anything that he says. When he does live streams, he has like 20 people watching. Nobody gives a fuck. You know, he's not credible.
Yeah. Well, I owe him a Christmas card because him and Gattoon, he sent me into retirement single-handedly.
He holds his pants up with rope.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Right. He drives a Porsche Cayenne, but holds his pants up with rope.
Maybe he can borrow a belt from his stupid mother.
Yeah. I mean, that's his biggest problem, is that his mother is Wendy Murphy, you know, like that's his biggest problem.
Yeah, she says a lot of intelligent stuff on Twitter. She's quite the attorney, that one.
Right. Yeah.
Moron.
He's an idiot. She's an idiot. Yes.
Yeah, she is. I've met her a couple times. She's yeah. I'll just leave it at that.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. I can only imagine what it's like to be in a courtroom with her. I can only imagine. Has she ever litigated a case? Like ever argued a case?
I think very early on, until she lost her mind with the lacrosse, the Duke lacrosse stuff.
Okay.
I think that's where she actually lost her mind. If she still thinks that is a viable thing, I don't know. I don't know what, you know, there's no hope.
Right.
And, you know, so I do feel bad for Grant in that way. He came from that household, poor bastard.
Right. I mean, and you know, he's obviously got whatever, you know, neurological issues that he has, you know. I mean, it's not his fault. You know.
Yeah, he's got half of Wendy's DNA, and that's not a good thing.
Right. Now, he's accountable for his actions, don't get me wrong. He's definitely accountable for his actions. If he crosses the line and he's held accountable, then he deserves it. But, you know, the stuff that he does is just stuff to not be taken seriously, basically. You know, that's how I look at him.
Yeah, like the other day, he was yelling at Krusty there. We talked about her yesterday.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm a towel, you're not.
Like, why? Right. You know, and I mean, if you want to be taken seriously as a reporter, A, report facts. B, let the person answer who's yelling back at you. Let them be heard.
Yeah, and maybe don't call yourself a towel.
Right. Don't call yourself a towel. Don't do that. That's for sure.
I mean, you're only going to get so much credibility when you run around calling yourself a towel, smoking weed in the Porsche.
Right. Now,
anyway.
Yeah. So is there like isn't there a hearing going on right now? Like the Brian Walsh hearing?
Yeah, there is actually. The Scapiccio is in there. I'm right in the other room listening. You can't hear it right now, but I'm right in the other room in my little broom closet they have for me over here.
Okay. Yeah, Boston 10 is streaming it. So I'm probably gonna stream that. Might as well. I mean, I'm already live. Fuck it.
Might as well, Will. You're already here.
Right. Exactly. All right, Kasi, especially appointed prosecutor Robert Cosgrove, everybody.
Thanks to the antenna people. Thanks for having me on your presentation, Will Blair.
It's always a pleasure, sir. Have a good one.
Bye.
All right, let's see what we got going on here, folks. Now, this is all I got on the feed, folks. But I guess we'll wait. Yes, send that to me on Discord, Yellow Truth Seeker. That would be great. We'll watch that in the meantime while we wait for this. Because it wouldn't be right to not show Aiden's interaction with John Atalia. It just wouldn't be right. All right, here we go.
I'm JC Monahan. And I'm Laura Melinda. So our Kirsten Glavin is live for us at Norfolk Superior Court with more details on what happened.
Thank you,
She was
Forever
really
Raven. Fairy Raven.
Well, Kearney and his attorney made the case today that the
Carney,
Commonwealth
Carney.
is intentionally withholding documents to try and slow this whole process down. Now, the judge ultimately did give the state a deadline.
Thank you,
to try
Yellow
and get
Truth Seeker.
everything together. A walk up to Norfolk Superior Court in Dedham met with fireworks.
Shame on you!
A self-proclaimed YouTuber from
Oh,
Florida
God, he made the
insulting and accusing the blogger known as Turtle Boy of witness intimidation in the Karen Reed murder case.
You're going to prison! Shame on you for what you did!
Thank you, Sleuthy,
Aiden
sweetheart,
Kearney, a
Stormy.
social media guru, responding with a Facebook Live battle. Tuesday for a pre-trial
I can't believe
hearing.
that made the
He
news.
was indicted back in December, pleading not guilty on
Where's
charges
the-
of intimidating and harassing witnesses.
And that's here we go.
We're down here. We're at the courthouse. We got somebody here, a friend. I have a fan here.
I do know my hecklers.
Who is this guy? Who are you? Who is? What is this past say? What is this past say? He's so angry. He's so mad. He knows. He's talking about my mom.
He kept saying my mom,
That's
Keith.
so rude.
My dad's Keith. My dad's not named
Who
Keith.
is this guy? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Wait till you find out what John McCain did to the O'Keefe family. Wait till you find out what she did. It's a lot worse.
It's true.
It's a lot worse.
It's true.
It's a lot worse. This guy is so mad. Look at him. Who is this guy?
Jonathan Lee. I think it's the Clarence. Is that Dolly? No.
Is that Dolly Vision?
I thought that was Dolly Vision.
Okay, I don't know.
People already knew. People already fucking knew that I covered this guy extensively. People are telling Turtle Boy, this is the guy. He's not Dolly. He's Jonathan. He's one of the other guys that the Glare talked about, that the Glare exposed.
Who this guy is? Who is this guy? He's so mad. He's so mad. Anyway, I guess I
my
got
entourage
fancy.
just doesn't.
What's up, people? We're down here at Norfolk Superior Court. I guess it's a Glare troll. I don't know who the guy is.
Jonathan Lee Richards.
He thinks my dad's name is Keith, though. He's so. How's your mom doing?
It's a Glare
Oh,
troll.
fine.
Like, so like one of the reasons why I used to not announce when I would go. I would never let anyone know. I would just show up, is because I didn't want to give people like John Atalia or Dolly Vision a heads up, who would show up just to like troll and try to cause conflict. When everyone, the thing is the free Karen Reed community, the free Turtle Boy community, we do things legitimately. We do things abiding by the law. We don't cause any trouble, and we do that for a reason, so that no way anybody could say that anybody caused any problems, so that we could prove that when they arrest people for picketing or arrest people for wearing a fucking shirt in a buffer zone, that it's unlawful to do that, because it's important to show. And that's why people like Tom CPU, who would document everything, would show nobody caused any trouble. And I didn't want to fuck with that. I didn't want to bring trouble with me, because I come from that shit where I would expose people like this who would absolutely capitalize on causing trouble. So I just wouldn't tell anybody when I was coming. But they've lost interest. They don't give a fuck anymore. The trial's over, so it's like, yeah. And now I just, if I can go, I'll let people know that I'm going, and then we we find a way to hang out.
I guess, how's your dad Keith doing? I'm like, don't live in a trailer park. Don't know what that's like to have a dad named Keith. But
Sorry, Keith.
Cheeseburgers now.
I thought that was Dolly Vision.
No, it's Richard.
How many mentally incapacitated fans trolls does he have? This guy's so mad. He's so mad. Look at him. Look at him.
I have a few, Aiden. I have a few.
Look at him. Look at him. What brand are those shoes, sir?
What brand are these?
Look at those shoes. Look at this. What brand are those? What brand are those? Are those Walmart brands? Oh my gosh. He's so mad. He's so mad. I think so, yeah. That's intimidating a witness. Leave me alone. You're intimidating a witness. I'm a witness in a whole bunch of shit. A whole bunch of stuff.
He's intimidating a witness. He is. Like, please, I'm a victim. Is Aiden saying, dude, I'm a witness in a whole bunch of shit, bro? Like, arrest this guy.
Whole bunch of
I've
stuff.
legit never seen that brand of shoes. I don't know what brand that was.
He sexually harassed her.
Oh, he did? Oh, crap.
He's intimidating a witness, sir. He's intimidating me.
Intimidating the
I'm a witness.
I am a witness.
I'm a witness. I'm emotionally harmed.
I am.
I'm emotionally harmed. Okay? Emotional harm.
That counts. That counts.
See, he's so mad. What did he say?
He's on his way to your mother's
You're at my
house.
mama's house.
Yeah, he kept saying he's going to my mom's house.
How rude.
I got a picture of it. I zoomed in. It's
So we go
Okay.
there,
investigates. 192,000 subscribers. That's not bad. What's his problem?
I have no idea.
Apparently offended them so much. All right, I care about the O'Keefe family.
It's
I
true,
do.
I
I want them to get justice. It's sad what's happening to them.
Agreed.
It's really sad that they show up to court hearings with the people who killed John.
A little awkward.
But maybe that's going to change with Mr. O'Keefe. He seems to be the smart one in the family. So
All right. Hold on a second. Is the hearing over for the no. Okay, I guess it's via Zoom. But no, it's probably good I just wrap this up. Go over to Melanie Little's channel and check out the Brian Walsh hearing. Make sure to check that out. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, folks. I appreciate all you guys for hanging out with me. Couldn't think of a better way to spend my afternoon. You guys are absolutely fantastic. And Fairy Raven, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Glad you're doing this, Will. There are so many people who don't know about the parasites, as Dietz calls them. Yeah, exactly. You got to keep people reminded, man. Like, you don't want to. I mean, if this Karen Reed and Turtle Boy situation has taught us anything, man, you know, you don't want to interfere. And even when you see that there is injustice, and even if you see that there is corruption, you don't interfere. Expose it, but you don't interfere. Expose it. Absolutely. Talk about it. So, people, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Make sure to hit the like on your way out if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and make sure to hit the notification bell so you know when I'm going live. I might go live again tonight. I don't know. We'll see. But you guys are absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys for all the support. And actually, let me go ahead and read. Oh, yeah, I got a Venmo from Lynn. Says, love you from Boston. Thank you so much for the $5 Venmo. Appreciate it. Guys, I love you very much. Remember, it only takes a second to stay safe. I love you very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.
Watch out!
Today, being retarded means leading a full life. Retarded people go to work or school just like their neighbors and come back to a real home. A supervised home, right in the neighborhood, where they belong. Being retarded never stopped anyone from being a good neighbor.